The New York Times, always at the forefront of the globalist agenda, ran an op-ed arguing that paedophilia is not a crime. Not to be outdone, CNN countered with an article proclaiming that paedophiles are not monsters or social deviants living in the shadows. According to CNN, it's high time society updated its image of paedophiles. CNN followed up this article with an even more explicit call for sympathy. According to CNN, we should reach out to them and seek to understand child rapists because one cannot choose to be a paedophile. The psychologist Jesse Bering, author of Perv, the Sexual Deviant in All of Us, also urges the reader to sympathise with child molesters, writing that people with paedophilia aren't living their lives in the closet, they're externally hunkered down in a panic room. Salon also got in on the act, urging us to meet and accept so-called virtuous paedophiles who supposedly want the best for our children. The campaign to legalise paedophilia has gone into overdrive, and the elites are pulling out all the stops to normalise this crime against children, including scheduling pro-paedophilia content on mainstream TV. Take a look at this travesty from the UK, where a paedophile in a mask was given the opportunity on primetime to normalise his interest in children as a natural sexual attraction. Next, society must learn to treat paedophiles with the same respect they treat heterosexuals, because paedophiles don't choose their feelings. It was only a matter of time before they took off their masks.
According to current research, pedophilia is an unchangeable sexual orientation, just like, for example, heterosexuality. And most of us feel discomfort when we think about pedophiles. But just like pedophiles, we are not responsible for our feelings. We do not choose them, but we are responsible for our actions. And we must make a decision. It is our responsibility to reflect and to overcome our negative feelings about pedophiles and to treat them with the same respect we treat other people with. We should accept that pedophiles are people who have not chosen their sexuality and who, unlike most of us, will never be able to live it out freely if they want to lead an upright life. We should accept that pedophilia is a sexual preference.
Statistics indicate that there will be one or two of you who are struggling with some form of pedophilic interest. These people can't talk about their feelings because they know that they will be hated for it. I truly do believe that every person is longing for love at some point in their life. And what if this love that you really wish for will forever be impossible? That must be a really lonely situation to be in. Yes, from an emotional point of view, I can kind of understand that you would want to eliminate these people from society. However, it doesn't make sense. And that's because we're talking about biology. We're talking about a sexual orientation, something that we simply cannot change. And on top of that, every day, new people are born with the same difficulty. So it's not practical to eliminate these people from society. They haven't done anything wrong.
Let's go back to Harari's tweet celebrating Happy International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia and Transphobia. Want to see how this whole argument circles around the elite's same obsession with age gap love? The fact is, queer theory is rooted in paedophilia. Meet Professor Derek Jensen as he introduces Queer Theory Paedophilia Jeopardy.
Actually, it seems you're acting like this is a spurious connection. So we're going to play Jeopardy. We're going to play Queer Theory Pedophilia Jeopardy. Okay, answer. Commonly called the godfather of queer theory. Who is Foucault? Who is Foucault?
I got it.
Okay, argued for the eradication of age of consent laws as in down to infants.
Who is Foucault?
The author of the founding document of queer theory.
Who is Gail Rubin?
Who is Gail Rubin? 50%. Question is?
The amount in that article that was a defense of pedophilia, specifically, quote, boy lovers, so men who fuck boys.
Quote, this is in the founding document of queer theory. Like communists and homosexuals in the 1950s, boy lovers are so stigmatized that it is difficult to find defenders of their civil liberties, let alone for their erotic orientation. That's in the founding document of queer theory. Oh, and she also compared, by the way, she compared pedophilia to a preference for spicy food. I have never heard of anyone who has to have years of therapy because they ate hot and sour soup. Pedophilia and Queer Theory for 300, author of Macho Sluts. Pat Califia. Pat Califia has written, any child old enough to decide whether or not she or he wants to eat spinach, play with trucks, or wear shoes is old enough to decide whether or not she wants to run around naked in the sun, masturbate, sit in someone's lap, or engage in sexual activity, by which she does not mean play doctor, she means with adults. And she's very clear about that because she also says that pedophiles should be more and not less invested in children's lives. 400 is the most famous queer theorist of today. Answer. Who is Judith Butler? So Judith Butler wrote, well, I do think that there are probably forms of incest that are not necessarily traumatic, and which gain their traumatic character by virtue of the consciousness of social saying that they produce. Yeah, that's Judith Butler. That's one of the queer heroes. The last one in the queer theory and pedophilia, the answer is queer theorist who has spoken out strongly against pedophilia.
Zero. Who is no one?
Who is no one? Not a single one.
The elite are waging a spiritual war against our children that shows no signs of abating. The reprobates have now unveiled a new flag to further their push for the normalization of their vice, as they continue to push for civil rights for paedophiles. According to the pro-paedophilia movement, April the 25th is Alice Day, a special day for paedophiles to celebrate their God-given sexuality. The reference is to Lewis Carroll, the author of Alice in Wonderland, who was allegedly a paedophile himself. Watch your children and keep them safe. This is one rabbit hole you don't want them to go down. Here at The People's Voice, we're determined to continue exposing the elite, but we need your help. Subscribe to the channel on Rumble, follow me on X, and join the People's Voice Locals community to join our amazing team and gain access to exclusive and uncensored content. I hope to see you there. Today's video is brought to you by IPv6.